us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord.
Well, good Monday morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Inspiration for Today. And I'm so glad you're here because I have one of my longest friends on the show today, Cecil Stalnaker. Hi, Cece.
How you doing?
Do you know, I figured out today, Cece, how long we've been friends. And it's like 50 years.
I think so.
Can you
think
believe
so.
that?
Yeah. Seminary.
Yeah. We met in classes. We both went to Talbot Seminary and we had classes together. And I can't believe that we're that old.
Yeah.
It's been a fast life. It's been a fast life. Well, friends, I wanted Cease to come on the show today because he's recently written a new book called Faith Adrift Christianity. And so I'm going to have Cease tell us about that. It's really a good book that I would like you to consider reading. And so let's just jump into that. Cease's life went a different direction than mine, but we stayed friends over the many years. You moved fairly soon to Europe.
Yeah. After seminary, a
Yeah.
year or so after seminary,
I knew it
took about 5 years to get through seminary, and I was on the staff of a church in West Covina, and it was very clear God leading us. I wanted to go to a place where I felt there was a great need, and God opened up doors for us to go to Europe. Went to Belgium, to French-speaking Belgium, and that was obviously a new experience. We'd never been to the country, and they were pretty desperate. They needed teachers to train pastors and Christian workers at this French-speaking Bible school that was in Belgium. And how much French did I know? None. And they gave me a couple of years to try to become somewhat fluent, and I started teaching. And there were others that came along also.
So you were with Greater European Mission, right?
Yeah, I still am connected with them.
So many years there, but how many years did you spend in Europe in general, and maybe some more?
It was close to 30. I think it was about 33 years. Basically, we went to French-speaking Belgium, spent 18, 19 years there. Our children were raised there, and then after some things occurred, we moved to Amsterdam, to the Netherlands, and spent 15 years there. And we moved back to the States 10 years ago. So close to almost 35 years in Europe.
So we're going to be talking, I don't know how much today, but we'll see how it goes. But I really want to pick Cecil's mind on and knowledge on what's happening in the church in Europe, because I think all of us will enjoy and appreciate that update. But Cecil, today I wanted you to talk about your book, and Faith Adrift Christianity. What does that mean, or why did you write the book?
It's really been a work that's been in progress for about 20 years. And wow. What happened is when we went to Belgium, we were in a Roman Catholic culture. Everybody we knew was Catholic, and so we were ministering in that. And as I got to know Catholics and everything, which all of our friends were Catholics. I love these people. And I found that none of them, though, as they profess to be Christians, very few of them ever went to Mass and went to church. And so that got me thinking. And what happened was I did my doctoral studies, my PhD studies in Belgium, and I decided to study the Roman Catholic Church in reference to the nominality that exists within Roman Catholicism. Why weren't my Catholic friends, why didn't they go to Mass? And so I actually, part of the doctoral, the research, I surveyed 400 nominal Catholics, which is pretty easy to find because everybody was pretty nominal. And then I surveyed and interviewed 100 former nominal Catholics, people who had converted to Protestantism, let's put it that way. And so that was kind of the start of the whole thing. Why were these people not attending Mass at church? They didn't care. Yet others who they converted to Christ and were starting, churches, starting to go to Protestant churches. So that kind of got me on the thing. So I was around that for 18, 19 years. Then we moved to Holland, and I find the same thing exists there, but they're Protestants there. So you have the Reformed tradition in the Netherlands, and so you have all these people who I'd met, and they say, "Oh yeah, I used to go to church," and these are.
I was going to say, although you were talking about initially the Roman Catholics, that's even an issue that I see in our country, in our situation, even more recently. I think that the many have dropped away from church even because of COVID, and so on. But I think maybe that's just revealing themselves.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been living back here 10 years, and the first year or two, I was actually at Starbucks, and I was talking to this woman in there, and she asked me what I did, and so we started to have a conversation. She says to me, well, I used to go to church. In fact, I was an Awana leader. I was a Sunday school teacher, and now I don't go to church. I haven't been to church in 6 or 7 years. And so I asked her, so what church do you go to? Or did you go to? And she goes, oh, is this church up here on the hill? Well, it was my church that we're going to. And so whether it's in Belgium or Holland or the United States, there's the same problem.
So you
drifting away from God.
So you not only studied, and you have a lot of facts. In fact, I think you found that, I think you used the stat of 75% of people that claim to be Christians seem to demonstrate these kind of nominal characteristics.
Yeah, people are drifting. It's estimated that 75% drift. I was actually just reading a study recently where in Europe, for instance, 91% of people in Europe been baptized, and 81% grew up in some type of Christian home, Catholic, Protestant, Orthodox, and yet about 15% go to church today. So it's this, it's the same problem, and it's worse in some countries than others in Europe. In fact, the Netherlands, being rooted in the Reformation, it has the highest incidence now of non-affiliated people. They don't affiliate with any religion at all.
So in the book, you describe the problem, but friends, he also puts in what we can make sure that we're not one of those, that we're excited about the Lord and happy to follow him and don't miss worship chances and so forth. So Cecil, you do a really good job of encouraging us to not lose our first love.
It takes work.
Yeah.
The Christian life is kind of like, I think I equate it to like sailing, at times it's just, you're sailing along, everything is looking good. And then you get into rough waters and you've got to start doing things, shifting things around the boat, weight and other things. And so the Christian life is like that. Sometimes you really need to work at it to stabilize things.
So I got to interrupt you. Our time's about up for today. So Cecil's going to be back with us tomorrow. Finish this story and update us on what's been happening throughout Europe. So God bless. The book, Faith Adrift Christianity, is available on Amazon. You can look it up there. God bless. See you tomorrow.
Come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore